Well, another announcement from the Bank of Canada today regarding the key interest rate, deciding to hold it at 5%, the highest it's been since 2001. So how does this impact the housing market? Well, real estate agent Tony Johal is here today for a little insight on that. Tony, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So it's a big day with the interest rate. First, your thoughts on it staying still.
I think it's a smart move. I think the reports over the last few weeks and months about the economy being weakened, we were cautiously optimistic that it would hold. And I think going into the fall market, it does make sense. A lot of people do enter the market in the fall market with the intention of possibly closing by the end of the year. You don't want to discourage people getting into the real estate market. There's a lot of inventory out there for them to pick from. So I think it's a smart move. For those selling, is there something that you would recommend they do during this time? I would say that, be prepared to compete with a lot of inventory out there. One of the things that I would always recommend is curb appeal certainly matters. Do the little things on the outside of the house that maybe you've neglected, and cut the grass, paint around the trim on the outside, make the outside look pretty, perennials, do a lot of work on the outside, make the home inviting to make people want to come inside. Yeah, how does this impact their ability to sell the property for the value they wanted? Well, I think real estate is one of the few places where the old saying, first impressions, really do matter. And I would definitely say that many buyers make the first impression just pulling up to a house. We've had times where we've pulled up to a house and a buyer gets out of their car and they're just like, you know what, I don't really want to go inside. And they get back in the car and they pass up on that house simply because there's something about the outside of it that just basically told them this isn't the house for me. So definitely having that outside beautification kind of brings in those buyers and gives them a sense of wanting to go there. For the buyers, is there something that maybe they can do to find a lower price? Well, I would definitely say there's a segment of the market that has more inventory than any other segment, and that is the condo market. So if it's a condo townhouse or a condo apartment style, like one of these new ones that we've seen uptown or downtown with the revitalization, you've got a lot of different options there. You can definitely secure a condo for under asking price. And one of the things that was revealed in the stats this month that just came out was the fact that the one segment of the market that had the most inventory growth was the condo market. And that's not exclusive to apartments. It can also be townhouses too. Simply because many people bought these townhouses 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now all of a sudden they're closing and they've just got the keys, and things have changed financially for a lot of people. So now it's time to go to the market, and that's kind of beefed up that side of that segment of the market. With those condo purchases, are you seeing more people buying properties just for solely to rent them out? We are still a very strong rental market. I know a lot of people feel Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, our region in general, is just not that good of an area to rent out properties to anymore, simply because our prices are so high. But then with that person, I would also question that person. Are our prices higher than Toronto? And the answer is no, we are not higher than Toronto, but yet many people continue to invest in Toronto. So our market is still a very safe place for people to invest money. Running out of time, but just lastly, when students, they're returning to the city now, is there the properties for them? There's definitely properties out there for them, student dorms and things like that. They're not as cheap as what they used to be, but there's definitely options out there. Is there a certain type of property that they should be looking for if they are struggling? Well, I think they have a ton of inventory choices right near the university. A lot of these high rises that have popped up around there. I would say look at transit as being the most critical factor. And then, of course, being able to walk from A to B. And you've got lots of choices there. Awesome. Any final remarks? You know what? Bring on the fall market. Perfect. Well, thank you, Tony, for joining us. That's Tony Johal with some insight on the real estate market.